Welcome back to the Rival Series action right here on Rival Esports for the B-Stream. I'm Jarv James, still here with FaZe and our league as we're going to be moving on to the second match of the day. That's going to be Solary versus Notorious Legion Esports. We saw Solary and specifically Carry and Yoni at the peak of their performance yesterday against Triple Trouble. That was the final game of the day, and honestly, one of the best Rocket League series I've seen, period, especially in Rival Series. And Notorious Legion fell apart at the seams when they were playing against Team BDS, so they right now need a big bounce back. Unfortunately, their opponent right now is Solary. My question to you is whether are we overestimating Notorious Legion? I do believe after their win versus RGM, they have been put really high on a big pedestal. People were giving them a lot of credit. Have we perhaps overestimated them, and this is going to be their downfall starting from, or already has started previously, just continuing from this point on?
Okay, so first of all, Cash, baby. I didn't mean anything last week. I said they haven't really had much chance to lose, Notorious Legion. And I think that was perhaps a bit harsh because they are a very exciting team. I think that Cash brings a lot of creativity to the table. And for me personally, looking at building off what Team Ekuzulu established last season, I'm like, yeah, this team can survive in the Rival Series. I think that they should be aiming for that 5th, 6th spot. That said, the change in style that they have undergone in months is startling, and it kind of shows not down the offensive side of the table, or down the offensive side of the pitch, but at the goal mouth. The stat that I have is pretty... I don't know how much you guys want to read into it in chat. They prop up the saves table. The entire team is down there, last, second to last, and third to last. They don't make many saves, and when you consider how many goals were put past them yesterday, you can kind of see why they are... I'm going to let FaZe do the amazing phrase that he came up with in the break there, but they are very much a team that outscore someone or they lose, and that came undone against BDS, who have a much more structured rotation system. It came undone yesterday as well. Are they still good enough to survive, in my opinion? Yes. I don't think I was under any disillusion that they were going to be poorer in defense without impacting the team. But they've got to kind of shore up the defense at some point, Jam face. Otherwise, they are going to be in trouble. Because as much as I gave, the house beating to RJM just a few minutes ago, listen, they could have a freak result. They could have a very good result against one of the teams coming up in the next few weeks. And then all of a sudden, all the pressure is on Notorious Legion just to survive.
What's that lovely phrase? Or it's going to be popped just at the right moment. Now I'm just eager to hear it. FaZe, are you going to save it or are you going to bring it right now?
No, we're going to use it. But first I want to go into a little bit. We were off broadcast a little bit talking about this matchup. And we looked at both games that they played, Notorious Legion. And they only played 2, so it's a really, really small sample size. But if we look at the first game that they won against RGM, or it was the second game, sorry. No, it was the first. Okay, doesn't matter. But in that game, Cash popped off. He had the best play out of everybody that played this series, just in rating alone, that you could go into the stats. And then in the second one that they lost, well, he had a really bad rating. So I thought, well, it's Cash or Crash. So if he doesn't show, if he doesn't put up the offense, I think there's going to be a hard time for Notorious Legion to get anything going. Like our league also said in the break, Matane is very good and consistent at putting the ball at the net. And yeah, that's lovely. But shots can also be saved. And I think Cash brings that extra oomph that can get it in.
Well, I think there's money to be made in a series of books consisting only of Rocket League dad jokes. and nothing. We can corner the market right here. But let's indeed look. Let's indeed look at these two teams. Of course, on the side of Solary, it's Carry and Yoni, Meloshisu, and Exotic. While on the side of Notorious Legion Esports is going to be Taz, Mitan, and Cash. Or maybe Crash, we'll see at the end of the series. Arlie, who do you specifically prefer on the side of Solary? Who's going to be your standout player?
All of them. That is my that is my serious answer. All of them. They have, I wouldn't say perfected, but we're 80-90% there in terms of total rotation. They scored 48 goals over the 4 series / 19 games that they've played. That's 12 goals confirmed per series. That's 2.5 goals confirmed per game. On top of that, 44 of those were assisted. So only 4 of those were solo plays. And on top of that, Solary also have the 2 players with the highest save numbers in the league. 40 with Meloshisu, 32 with Carrion. Also, guess what? They topped the shots table as well, with the same players, 57 and 51. The only player really missing from that is Exotic, but I saw that same series as you guys yesterday. I thought they did a bunch of wonderful things there too. It's just a matter of time before he starts to get up in the stats, I feel.
All right, well, time for predictions. Face, what do you think? Who's going to take it? What's going to be the score line? Are you a believer in the whole team of Solary, or are you going to think that on the side of Notorious Legion Esports, Cash is just going to carry the whole squad?
Well, let's do it really quickly because I've seen that the series already started. I think Solary is going to take it 3-1.
All right, Arlie?
Let's get into the game. 3-2.
Indeed.
Solary. It started. They're too hot. They're too hot. They're going to get started immediately. Game 1. I genuinely do believe this is a 5-game series as well. And, well, I asked, Exotic, when are you going to start moving up into the stats, into the top echelons of the stats that your teammates find? Maybe today is that day. He opens up the scoring within 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's a great start yet again. I want to paint one more image before the series gets definitely underway. Solary, the highest shooting and scoring team, up against a team that has the least amount of saves. This could be a really bad shutout. But we'll have to see. Will Notorious Legion get that midfield defense that they want to set up because they don't want to be all the way in their own half? Or will it just be a goal fiasco?
Well, I was going to predict a goal fest before these guys decided to move off before the light had turned green. My opinion on Notorious Legion in this series is you've got to fight fire with fire, right? You've simply just got to score goals, and a lot of them, because your defense has not given me much hope to suggest anything otherwise to get a result from this game. Already, Solary within the first 2 minutes, or within the first 1 minute rather, is 2-0 up. Not exactly the 4-0 beatings in the first minute that we saw yesterday, but whiffs like that from Cash in the midfield simply cannot happen. We saw a lot of whiffs come out yesterday as well, Face. And the task for them ahead is simple. They just have to be better.
They sure have to. This is maybe also an opportunity to pad that save stat because we're gonna have shots galore. So maybe they will just try and get the saves going at least. But with the quality of shots that we've seen from Solary, a save is maybe not enough. You have to challenge early so they don't get the opportunity to get those insane angles. But now it's quieting down a little bit, and Notorious Legion is also getting something off their own.
Exotic lifts it over 1. Finally, I get to do some casting. No more setup, only story. And away into the midfield, Tars goes, but Carrion closes it down. I mean, Carrion yesterday in Game 5. That might be one of the standout performances in Rival Series all season long. And Exotic with the excellent angle. It ends up being a beautiful pass down to Meloshisu. The goalkeeper was left stranded. And just under 3 minutes left. It's a 3-goal lead. And
we've seen 5 shots now from Solary, and 3 of them have been in, and 1 of them has been saved. The save stat, well, it's coming through yet again. That could have been the same right there on Exotic shot, but it was very well placed. was crossbar and out, so the defender had a hard time getting towards it. But yet again, Solary just being effective with almost every attack that they're launching.
That's a nice attempt from Mitane going into today. Had a 1.0 exactly goals per game ratio. And on top of that, he's got one of the top shooting percentages in the season so far. I want to say 31.82%. That's off the top of my head. Either way, if you want to score a goal, more often than not, you want to put it onto his nose. Often that has come through Cash, however. And like you said, if he's not on it, then that offense just falls apart. And falling apart, not for the first time this season, is the defense of Notorious Legion. Carrion with a beautiful drop. Looks so lackadaisical there as he just tilted his car ever so slightly, but it's not looking great for Notorious Legion right now, is it?
No, it doesn't, but let's be honest, Carrion, what is that? You get an aerial 50-50, land on the side, putting it in the bottom corner? Like, I get why you scored that much, but Notorious Legion on the board right now too, but I'm just flabbergasted by that.
That was a nice 50-50 win by Tars, and oh, you could see that Carrion was expecting a bounce, and it did not come. The roll fell perfectly to Cash, who puts it away to at least get one goal. Some blushes saved. Now you've just got to find 3 more. That was their 3rd shot on target, Notorious Legion. Make that the 4th as it's saved away from Carrion, but Exotic fancies goal number 5. Cash with the save on this occasion. And now Mitane misses in the midfield again. These have to stop happening, Face, right? I mean, it's the 2nd tier of Rocket League. You've got to hit the ball.
Yep, that's exactly what I would like to say again about that defensive play. You've got to hit the ball, Mitane. Oh, it's not in? Well, good. But you didn't really get a touch, did you? And then you get bumped out of the way. You have to be active on your defense. I think we've seen now 2 or 3 goals where a defender went for the ball, but he just didn't get a normal touch on it. And that's been costing them. We've said that since Impact is gone, defense has maybe been different, but that's playstyle-wise. Impact wasn't a defensive player. This is an active choice by Notorious Legion to try and play aggressive, and well, it hasn't been working out for them.
Carrion. Oh, gorgeous pass down to Exotic. Closed down by Cash, who makes the save. Helps it into the midfield, and Melo Shisu with a great 50-50 is to Mitane now. Helps it forward, but Exotic is up and away, and immediately the counteract. Cash takes out Exotic, but again, this ball remaining in the blue half, and Melo Shisu chooses not to go for the challenge, called off, and actually taken out by Taz. He's reset back into his half. Speaking of Taz, into the corner, away from Exotic. The read's beautifully done on the backboard. And with 30 seconds or so remaining, maybe another goal would be nice just to take away from Notorious Legion. Maybe it'll happen here. No, Tars blasts wide with a shot into the ground. You've just got to find a defensive rotation that works here, because Solary is firing on all cylinders.
They are so quick on their offense and creative at the same time. It doesn't matter where the ball is going. Someone is ready to take it and pass it out to their teammates. It looks like they just know where everybody is. They push the rear mirror button, which almost nobody does in a very often time, which they can just see where everybody is, and they play so calm and so collective. It looks so easy when they do it.
Yikes. I like how Solary had less saves than Notorious Legion. that kind of just encapsulates that game. Notorious Legion had 1 breakaway that came to a goal, but for 4.5 minutes, that was just all Solary.
And the goals that they've been scoring, they've been of quality too, but it's not like there's not a defender from Notorious Legion. The defender is rotating back, but he's kind of late. And then he's in an awkward position. Like 2 goals were exactly the same. Oh, I hit the crossbar. Well, luckily it bounces back to me and you went for it, Mr. Defender. and they get a goal out of it. The defense of Notorious Legion is not back in time or cannot make an active decision on what they want to do. They play purely reactionary before the shot has been even made. They're in the middle of the net waiting. That's not the position you want to be in. You want to be able to challenge the shot, or you want to wait sideways so you can drive into it. But they're just in the net and like, well, I'm now just standing in the middle of the net with zero momentum, and he's gonna shoot. Good luck me.
Game number 2. And Notorious Legion will certainly hope that they don't have another 5 goals shipped. Infield from Cash, but Carrion away with a nice hit. Tars goes up to the top of the box, helped on by a teammate, but it's easy for Meloshisu. Mitane, the challenge was weak and Exotic wins out, goes for the double tap, tries to get it through to Meloshisu, does so, and not even 30 seconds elapse, it's another goal in.
I just don't get this. Exotic touches the ball down. Cash misses it. Taz is not there. He turned his car the other way for maybe the infield pause that he was waiting for, but the defense is there. It's not like there's nobody in net, but I don't see a difference. The net could have been empty either way. The ball just went in as easy as it could have.
Carrion almost putting it into his own net twice. But Solary get away with it as Exotic lifts over. There's no one there. Tars takes out the striker, but there was no one there. All offense is good when you have the talent to unlock the enemy team's defense. But Notorious Legion are falling on 2 fronts here. Mite, now there is a good demo, but Carrion and Meloshisu back in time to save.
Yeah. Look at this touch from Taz that he just made. He gets a touch in midfield. Well, congratulations, but you give the ball immediately. And there was a good passing opportunity from Solary coming out of it. They didn't score, but those touches can be instrumental to not having someone in a qualitative defensive position.
Carrion. Nutty boy trying to go for that little flick on, didn't come through. Cash down to Tars, strikes, gets the second touch, and both times they hit the backboard. The ball's still in a dangerous position, and once again Solary get away with it. Notorious Legion, I think, can now start to count themselves a little unlucky that they haven't scored in this game, but still Solary pose a threat, and Tars is going to throw it up into the midfield as Carrion puts it over to try and find Meloshisu. Mitane only helps it over to Meloshisu. Finally, no, not the clearance coming through from Taz. Meloshisu remaining on that sidewall, locking Notorious Legion into their own half. Still no clearance through from Notorious Legion as Exotic this time gets a touch and finally Cash away before Carrion keeps on the assault.
They have to get out, and they finally do. They found the passing play in defense, which 9 out of 10 times does get you out of defense. So they're pretty happy about that one. But now they have to set up something before, well, it happens all over again. Yes, we're back in defense of Notorious Legion. They do break out, and this might be the breather that they needed.
Mitane, again, it's Exotic who gets the touch in infield. Again, another good idea there from Mitane to try and get the bump, but Cash was a little bit too far back. Honestly, I don't mind that face. I like the fact that they're looking to go a little more defensive than they have been in the last couple of series, let alone this series. Still 2 minutes on the clock, still a 1-goal game. You never know, that defense might get you somewhere as Cash takes out another one, but unfortunately the shot is soft and wide.
And there is such a clear difference for Solary between defense and offense. When they're in defense, they are in defense. It's not like they're just scrapping back, getting positions. No, they actively are taking choices like, hey, this is my ball. Okay, this is yours. I will rotate up for the possible pass. They are conscious of what exactly they are doing. And when they switch in offense, you have the same feeling. They are in total control of the play, even though they don't have the ball.
That's not a great touch from Cash at all. Another bump, this time from Solary. And Tar's going to loft it towards the net, but it's, again, just such a tame effort as Exotic booms it downfield again. Oh, Exotic, you nutty man! Goodness me, completely read him like a book here. Carrying onto the backboard. And Meloshisu deciding not to push. Again, probably a smart decision, actually, given that we're only 1 minute away from the end of the game. Not necessarily batten down the hatches mode, Face, but listen, Notorious Legion have shown more signs of life in this game than in the entirety of game number 1. You don't want to overcommit at this moment, because then that gives Notorious Legion all sorts of hope that they can maybe take something from this.
And here it might be, but Matane doesn't put it on the net. And I also like that Solary just slows it down a lot. They feel very comfortable. It looks like they've been under pressure, but it doesn't look like they cannot deal with it. Here again, Matane goes up, but there's a goalie waiting. Did he not get the touch? Well, there was someone else already driving towards the backboard. They feel so safe. Every play that's being set up here by Notorious Legion looks like it gets countered. There's always one there. Here's maybe the risk though, but again, Meloshisu just comes in and is like, no, I'll take it.
Last chance, Saloon. Tars, oh, what a great block on the wall there from Carrion. Mittain around the corner. Carrion is there, and he just needs to get a touch. The ball's still in the air. Tars can keep the play alive. Yes! Oh, Mittain! Mittain fluffed it! Oh, no! That was it!
Yeah.
That was the opening, and they missed it. That is... Okay, what is this stats board, though? What is this stats board, though? 3 shots on target from Solary all game, and they win the game 1-0. Notorious Legion front up 1 save, and yet they don't have a single goal to their name. The whiff Central City train has come into dock. I know that's not what trains do, that's what ships do. The point still stands. You can't whiff in situations like that. Face, that was OT on a plate.
That should have been OT for sure, but it was an awkward situation. Multiple people were up and standing there. Like, the nerves get to you, but still, you're 100% right. It should have been in. I just want to look at the scoreboard for one more second, and well, it's gone now. But
Ripped away.
Notorious Legion. This is probably the game that they want to play. They want to have the opponent in defense, and they want to try to get an attack going. But they kind of did, but they kind of didn't, because even though they were in offense, it felt like Solary was playing the game. It was not Notorious Legion playing the game. It was Solary. They were just like, okay, we'll defend for a few minutes. It's fine. We'll see if we can get out of it and counter something, but we can wait. Totally fine. And then at the end, well, we saw little gaps coming through because of the boost control. They didn't have enough boost to keep it up for such a long time, but they kept it up barely long enough to get away with it. And I expect them to be like, okay, guys, maybe we need to be a little more aggressive.
So, Notorious Legion have to reverse sweep Solary if they hope to take the W and add it to their collection in the season. Somehow, I would say that the odds are not in their favor. Carrion, backboard. Cash gets a huge touch there. That sees Meloshisu's shot fire wide. Just. And now on the counter-attack, Cash again almost gets a fortuitous second touch on the ground. Opening minute comes and goes. Tie game. But I'd argue it could possibly be 1-1, not 0-0.
Well, it can also be 1-0, but no, Matane, he waited. That was a very good passing play, but we see again, ball goes to backboard, but chance still exists. It didn't come a goal out of it, but yes, this could have been already scored at either side, but this time the defense does stick from Notorious Legion.
Uncharacteristic misses from Solary. Great pass from Mittain down to Cash, but closed down. Tars forced into the retreat now, picks up the 100. Meloshisu, easy read, easy 50-50. And Exotic keeps the play alive, but to no one in particular. Carrying a little bit more passive, it seems. And Mittain going for the double touch, but the pace of the ball was just a little too much for him. And down the other side now, it's another good opportunity for Solary, and another shot that is fired wide. The shooting boots have been left in the locker room, it seems, in game number 3 for Solary. Can Notorious Legion capitalize? Yes, they absolutely can. And the most unlikely of sources from this season, Tars is the man who gets them their first lead of the series.
The bounce really helped them out right there. Carrion is expecting, oh, this will go towards the backboard. I will take it and jump off the wall. We'll be fine. Yeah, well, you're not fine, because this might be the 2-0, but no. Exotic, it keeps them in the game, because a 2-0 lead could be very harsh for them. We've seen that they've scored 2.5 goals per game. I think that stat almost holds up, because it was, I think, 1-0 and a 5-something. So they're getting on with it. But,
game.
yeah, but I don't know if they can make up for it with 3 goals more because, hello, defense?
I mean, that was just a pure miss from Kerrion. Mitane did super well to read that first. And Tars has decided that he's the striker now. 2 goals for him. Half-time almost upon us. And Notorious Legion is making Solary pay for their mistakes. There have been plenty of opportunities for them to score, and they have not taken them. Tars again now. Oh, sorry, go for it.
If you would... No, can I go? What is going on? I was going to say, if we take game number 1 and this game, and you would show me these 2 games and would hide the players' names, I would say, no, this cannot be the same guys. What is going on?
How many shots have Solary had? They've had more shots in the first half of this game than they had the entirety of game number 2. But somehow, somewhere, for some reason, Notorious Legion just, they must have stolen the shooting boots. That's what's happening here. They didn't leave them in the locker room. Notorious Legion have gotten dirty. That's why. No, of course not. Notorious Legion are just playing very well. And reasons like that, Exotic in games number 1 and 2, that would be a shot on target. It falls hopelessly wide, and Exotic with another miss in the midfield. Yeah, complacency maybe face? I mean, that's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head.
This is very odd. I think they might have been, like, their socks have been shocked off for some reason by just those goals just getting back to back to each other. Like, wait, what? What just happened? Oh, we actually... Okay, we have to speed up again. We have to go again. Let these passing plays coming on again. But do they have enough time? I fear that they will not get this going. And while a reverse sweep is always fun, but we'll have to see if they will do it because there's still a lot of games on the table.
There I was. I predicted another 5-game series. 3-2 to Solary. And after the first 2 games, I'm going to be honest... That doesn't look too great for my predictions. I mean, I'm glad that Solary would be fulfilling the Solary win prediction, but my word, what a reversal in fortunes. But was it, I tell you what, was it so out of the blue in truth face? Because we think back to that game 2 result now, and Solary only had 3 shots on target. It was Notorious Legion who were putting up the most efforts and who had the most creative shots on target. It was just decent defense that was saving Solary. The defense is gone. And Notorious Legion have a 4th.
Yeah, quite literally, the defense was gone. Yet again, they go up for balls that are like hard to get to. Kerrion tries to get this one after being... he didn't expect the ball to go there because there was a challenge in the corner that didn't hit. And if that stuff keeps going through, yes, it could be that we're going the way. I still want to argue one thing, though, of the previous game that you brought up. It felt like Solary made a conscious decision in game number 2 for like, well, we can play defense too. Like, it felt like they were comfortable. They were not trying to push them as defense as hard as they could. They were trying to play it smart. And that worked out for them. And now they have to find their aggressive side again because for some reason it doesn't work again. They're not good in defense right now.
Almost number 5. Well, that would have been a story from 5-1 winning to 1-0 winning to a 4-0 smacking. Notorious Legion find a formation and they fight back. This series is on. Solary still on match point, of course, face. But that is a lot of hope for this team going forward. Cash was creative. Mitane was fast and pivotal in the upper half of the pitch. And Tars was on target. Excellent shooting accuracy from him. I'm at a loss, really, to say what went wrong for Solary because it seemed like everything went wrong over the space of 5 minutes.
I wouldn't know. I think it's also mindset. They have to get a clean plate. They have to get up again because it can be just an anomaly of a game. Just try again and see if there's still the same things go wrong yet again. I do want to point out one thing for you, Mr. Statistics. 5 saves on the size of Notorious Legion. That's an incredibly high amount.
Big pogs. Look at them go. I'm proud of them. I mean, again, though, it goes back to this point of with rival series being as chaotic as it has been this season, there has been some hugely like freakish results within the microcosm of a series. Maybe not so much in the overall result once the day is done, but stuff like this 4-0 after they got smacked 5-1 in game number 1. You know, just Rocket League. Just Rocket League. That's how things go.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if it was an anomaly, that one game that they took, or it will be persistent in this series. Because we'll go in game number 4, where it's still match points for Solary. And, well, it looks like Notorious Legion was gonna start the reverse sweep, but can they finish it?
I'd love to know, because I had to rejoin the lobby. Take it away for a little bit, please. I'll be with you in a bit.
Okay, so the Masses started out again. Offensive play, double commit on the side of Solary, but they do get the ball forward. Cash out to Taz. Taz cannot receive the pass. Solary takes possession. Still, the offense continues. Notorious Legion back again to the middle. But defense is there for Solary. They have a few incorrect characteristic mistakes and misses, but they still create an offense. Kyrian, will he go solo? Yes, he will go solo. Melushisu was mating in the middle, but didn't get the ball. Exotic keeps up the attack. Kyrian decides it as well. Notorious Legion having trouble in defense right now. They're all there, but the ball doesn't seem to go away. Yet again, possession for Notorious Legion. Ball hanging around the midfield. Melushisu tries to bring it up. Doesn't get that successfully. This could be dangerous. Metane going for the backward. He doesn't get the double touch. And a good clear by Kyrian. We're 1.5 minutes down. We haven't seen a goal. And Notorious Legion is still going strong. They haven't scored yet, but they are doing great. Their defense looks solid. They're trying to set up an attack. And it looks like Solary are still having trouble setting up their own aggression.
Yeah, my Rocket League may be broken, but hey, I can still watch the stream and I can provide a little bit of analysis on that front. And yeah, I'm loving what I'm from Notorious, honestly. Again, it really does seem like over the course of 10 minutes, they have transformed themselves back into the Team Ekuzulu of old. And it's nice to see that they still haven't lost that potency on attack. And Solary have to be wary, otherwise we might very well be talking game 5.
Yeah, and there's the first goal though. Cash scores. After offensive play there by Metane, getting that dunk, he gets a good angle, beating out Exotic. It didn't look like a dangerous shot. He could have just put it to the side as Exotic, or even as a pass from Cash, but no, he takes the shot, he gets it, 1-0 lead Notorious Legion, the reverse sweep is still alive. Now it's up to Solary. Can they create something? It's Melushisu. Tries to get it forward. Exotic is following up. Defense from Notorious Legion looks solid. Here again, another passing play, but Taz not finding the touch. Cash is trying to put it in. Doesn't. Now Melushisu gets by one defender, but this ball should be defended out. Yes, there it is. Kyrian wants to keep the play up, but they lose possession yet again. Cash with a good clear. Melushisu trying a solo play, doesn't get past it with 2 minutes left on the clock. It's still Notorious Legion who look comfortable. Their solo plays, their setups, everything is working out. Here again, a center ball. Cash tries to get it in, and it's 2-0. I don't know what's going on the side of Solary. But Cash
I'm at a loss.
We said it. Cash or a crash. This is Cash.
Cash and money. I'm back, folks. Lovely. Sometimes Rocket League is a wonderful game, and sometimes my PC chooses, no, James, you won't play it. James is my real name, by the way. Only my close friends know. That's you, chat. Finally. No, not finally. I thought Solary was like, I thought they were back in it. 1 goal. Let's do it. No. The woodwork comes to Notorious Legion's rescue. Up high. How on earth did Melushisu not reach that first? Metane, it just seems like Melushisu just gave up 75% of the way there. And with just over a minute left, jokingly suggesting, hey, maybe the reverse sweep might be on. The reverse sweep might be on. We have 60 seconds for Solary to find 2 goals. Otherwise, game 5 awaits.
I don't know what is happening, to be honest. But both of them look like Two-Face. They have a very good 2 games and they have a very bad 2 games. And now it's Notorious Legion having a good 2 games. But of course, game 5 is going to be decided because we're probably going to go there because Mithane puts in the 3-0 of, again, good offensive pressure. But Exotic, in an awkward position, gets a touch, but he doesn't get it out.
That is 7 goals unanswered now for Solary. What has happened to the team that some are considering potential automatic promotion contenders now? I certainly am. And Carrion trying to get something going. The 7-goal unanswered streak is brought to a screeching halt. 2 goals in 35 seconds isn't unheard of, Face. Right now, I'm thinking at least they've stopped the bleeding.
Yeah, they did, but it's still a kickoff goal. I don't want to call it a legit goal, an outplay, or something you've done really well. It's a kickoff goal. You won the kickoff. Congratulations. Now you scored a goal. Now you have to create an actual opportunity instead of just getting a 50-50 to your way.
Carrion trying to get that block there, but truth be told, I think that this game was done once the third went in. Exotic going to try and get a second here, but the near post is covered by Cash. And we are going to go to game 5, which is a situation that Solary have found themselves in all too often this season. They have completed 4 series so far. They went to game 5 in 3 of them. The only one that they didn't go to game 5 in was Team Vertex, where they won 3-1. Their record in game 5 is mixed, Face. They lost against Espanyol, they lost against BDS, but just 24 hours ago, they won against favourites for promotion Triple Trouble. So, some heart to be taken, but even more heart to be taken for Notorious Legion. Another 5 saves! Look at that! Look at them go! They're racking up the numbers now. Game 5 awaits, and honestly, with what we've seen in game number 3 and 4, it's hard to bet against Notorious Legion at this point. They just look like the better team.
They certainly look like the better team, and Solary, they're not getting the challenges, they're not getting the touches, they're not getting those crazy passes out of an odd angle. And in defense, normally how they clear it out is somebody's in defense and another person is rotating back. The one in defense passes it out to the person that's rotating back, and he will put it forward again. And that way you get a quick, effective, hard clear. I have not seen that, I think, almost in the past 2 games. They look uncomfortable. Maybe they're committing a little bit too much in offense and they have to calm down a little bit and get their defense going again. And when that is down, try to get the offense after that.
Make or break time. And Exotic trying to make something, a double commit save. The registry goes to Taz. And Solary look reinvigorated. They know that they have let a very handy position go to waste here. And if they are going to be serious, about actually challenging for promotion, then winning in game 5 after looking so off the pace 2 games in a row now, that'd be a very good way to do it. And what a touch. Can we appreciate that touch out from defense from Exotic? Almost gets the goal through as well. That was a beautiful individual play, but he needs his teammates up there supporting him.
And looks right now that Solary's challenging is at least working, because it's working in their favor. They retain ball possession after a challenge, which hasn't happened often. Here a double commit, but Cash lands on the ball again. Now 1v1 is against Kyrian. Doesn't get a quality shot on net, but it's still an offensive play for Notorious Legion.
Cash again challenges. Mithane might challenge. No, he's going to be called off here. Tarzan defense should have that. Going for the challenge on Melu Shisu, sneaks it through, and Cash, like an angel from the heavens, comes down to make the save off the ground. Solary with the best opportunities by far so far in the first minute and a half of gameplay. And yet no rewards still. And for every minute that goes by, Notorious Legion will be thinking, this is ours to win.
Now it's up again, Cash. He's been doing great the last games, even this game with an amazing save. If he keeps it up, I see a good opportunity for them to take it. But first, Solary, they look stronger, they look more confident. Their plays have been more eccentric, which we've seen in the beginning too. And they now defend a little bit smarter than they did in the past. So maybe we'll not see it, but we still have a lot of time remaining before we'll find out.
You know, one of Mitane's strengths last season as part of Ekuzulu was his aerial prowess. And he's won so many 50-50s over the course of this series. Can he find the finishing touch to help his team through here, whether it be in the form of an assist or a shot? Again, the ball closed down in midair. And Kerrion palms it off to Cash, who bumps it over one. Kerrion says he had it. I think that would have been a better clearance through Melushisu personally with more boost on side. Mitane with a great shot saved away from Exotic. Kerrion closes down Mitane once again. And Tars resets, looking to psych out Melushisu. Doesn't happen. Mitane straight to Exotic, but Cash throws it up high. Exotic taking out Cash now. And maybe the demo game is where this for Solary. Mitane looking for a double touch, but again, Kerrion so calm in defense. What they would have to do for another zero angle goal. I doubt we'll ever see a goal like that again this season. But boy, could they do with something special, Solary now.
That's a good demo. There's Taz. He almost gets it in. This game is on a knife's edge. The one that's gonna score first will most likely come out of on top because they will have the confidence and they can just go back in defense and play safe. But both teams have been close. But again, the Notorious Legion might take an Exotic. He gets the save! And yet again, we retain the 0-0 scoreline.
Notorious Legion are going to feel hard done by. Mitane again, looking for the double touch, not going to be there. Cash forced him to retreat. All three Solary. You could throw a blanket over all three of them. They were so panicked on defense, trying to get that one away. 60 seconds left. Could it be a 0-0 overtime? We know how quickly those are finished often. Cash, not with a flip reset, double commit, but Exotic continues to fly up, making the best of a bad situation. And away from Melushisu, Exotic looking for the cherry pick redirect, and Cash again with another save.
And now Cash goes up. He has not have a pass out option. He needs to go alone. He goes for the backboard. Cleared by Kerrion. This is so close. Now Mitane is up. He cannot reach it. Good clear. Oh, this can go both ways. I would love to see a 0-second overtime just to get us further in this.
It should be Melushisu, who's back. He's got his boost. Away he goes, past Tars, but not going to get past Cash. Up to Kerrion now. Downtown, Melushisu with the redirect. 7 seconds left, and Solary lead.
Oh, what a shot. They're beating out the defenders. This is the classic style that I pointed out earlier, how Solary wants to get that ball out of defense. They put it up front, they let someone touch it, and this time they get a goal out of it. Now, 5 seconds on the clock. Mitane on the ball, looking for the pass to Cash. Cash with the shot, gets blocked, ball still in play. Mitane, they sit to the middle. Taz up, gets it to the backboard, but Kerrion is waiting there. They want to put it down ASAP, and there it goes. Will it go down? Mitane can't reach it. And no reverse sweep. Solary do take it.
Oh, you have got to feel for Notorious Legion. They put up one hell of an effort throughout that second half of the series. It took one goal, and it was one moment of inspiration. That redirect from Melushisu. Look at Kerrion, though. We talk about Melushisu having that one moment of inspiration. Kerrion had 4 massive saves to keep Notorious Legion out. I'm delighted because that's my prediction down to a T. Solary's delighted because they are going to continue their automatic promotion push. Notorious Legion, you know what? I think this was a transformative season for them, I think this was a transformative series for them, Face, from losing 5-1 in game 1, turning it completely on its head. That is a good-looking Rocket League team, and if they play like that against other teams, then I think they're going to be just fine.
I think so too, but they're still two-faced and they can still go to the other side of that coin and get the 5-0s against them. I hope they realize a lot during the series that they have to be a little bit more defensive, because you just have to be. You cannot be all-out offense because you will get countered. And if a team is quick, fast, and has the mechanic capability, you will get scored upon.
Absolutely. Well, Jam, let's bring you back into this conversation, shall we? Because so many folks were waxing lyrical about Kerrion for his efforts just 24 hours ago. Today, it was his defensive efforts that provided the backbone for Solary to just about eke out another Game 5 victory just after beating Triple Trouble.
Oh, by the way, my prediction was 3-0. Just letting you know, in favor of Solary. But they were the biggest teases. Won the first game convincingly. At that point, I thought, and I was in the Kerrion fan club camp, whatever you might call it. I was thinking, if they kept Kerrion on a simmer over the past 24 hours, then whoever they're playing against next is going to have a horrible day. And they won the first game, and I thought, yes, it's happening. But then they decided to park the bus in game number 2 and lost the keys to that bus. I have never seen a team being so great in defense, but then the moment they move out, and we saw that in games 3 and 4, that they can't do anything. And kept it to the last moment, last 7 seconds, that they had it down to a potential overtime in game number 5. Crazy. But if Solary wants to win like that, if Solary wants to continue winning in 5 games, at the end of the season, it does seem like it's just going to take who cares how they got to the end of the season as long as they win the games, as long as they go for the promotion playoff or even promote automatically. Still, Solary, my heart is beating pretty darn hard. Face, what are you thinking? What broke down in Solary? What possibly threw them for such a big loop that they almost let the series slip away from them?
Well, as you said, they parked the bus in the second game because they felt comfortable. They thought, we're here, it's fine, we can just play this out. And then they lost the keys. Well, the keys can symbolize their method of challenging upfield and getting those passes out, because they were fast and aggressive. They got good 50s. They got creative, maybe even a little bit awkward passes out to players that then can shoot and put the defense in hard position because they moved out that quickly. And that's all the things that they didn't do anymore, or couldn't do, because, well, the bus was there. They had to go a little bit slower. They didn't play at their heart content, and it just didn't work out for them. And they had to find their speed again and had to find their setups again, and they just didn't. At the end, it was better, but it was still not there. And eventually, well, I think the last game was pretty much a coin flip, and they win it.
Well, could it be perhaps a difference between the speed that the teams are playing at? I'm specifically referring to their yesterday series against Triple Trouble, where both of the teams were just going on at all times. And here, Notorious Legion perhaps playing a little bit slower. Do you see that as an effect on Solary with how they decided to slightly change up their play, or was it just all their own wrongdoing?
The one thing which I would say stood out for me for Notorious Legion in games 3 and 4 was how quick Matane was to the ball. He won so many aerial challenges, Jam. It was impressive. And the knock-on effect of that, and I don't know whether it's more luck or whether it's just the team feeling more confident overall, but that had the knock-on effect of feeling, okay, well, Cash can move up. He can be a bit more creative, and Tars chipped in with some goals as well. I think it's less about what Solary did wrong and more about what Notorious Legion did right to counteract that complete rotation. I said it at the top of the series. There might be holes to pick in and amongst that rotation, especially the way that Notorious Legion normally plays. It failed spectacularly in game number 1. But as soon as they found a bit more structure to their offensive plays, much like what we saw from Team BDS, they put Mitane, they put Cash up front. They made sure that Tars was hanging back a little bit more, and it worked wonders for them. Ultimately, I think it was quality that won through more than any tactical tweaks could make, because that redirect from Melo Shisu was gorgeously done. It was a moment of inspiration that tipped the series in their favor. But yeah, I think the Notorious Legion deserve a lot of credit. Yes, they come out of this with an L, but any other team that is looking at them now, I think they're going to be pretty scared, because I think that the worst matchups in regards to tactics, they are gone now. BDS, Solary, they're out the way. They can focus on the rest of the season now and maybe picking up some W's towards a survival campaign.
And it does seem like Solary is going to also have a little bit of an easier way in their next two matchups, but then again, a more serious, I suppose, teams will be coming their way in the likes of Widom Girls, and of course, during their last week, they're going to be playing against... Actually, who are they going to be playing against? Actually, Solary is specifically playing Widom Girls during the last week on this B stream. That's going to be still in about 3 weeks' time. Still a long way to go. But that is yet another series down in the bag. Whether you predicted Solary to win or where you were cheering on for Notorious Legion Esports, I hope you had some fantastic Rocket League for your entertainment. One more to go, folks. It's going to be Triple Trouble versus Servette Geneva Esports. Get yourself a little bit of a drink, and we're back in just a while to get yourself the last series of the B stream for today. See you there.